89 on up, homies, the show where you gon' get Cali history. It's told with respect and dignity. Spoken by Jihad so vividly. He's taking over the industry, giving y'all some download imagery. Damn you, if you ain't hitting them likes, come on, subscribe. Check out the channel and I bet it will make you decide to tune in every chance you get. It's lit, and some of y'all can learn a bit from this gangster shit.
YouTube, what it do, loved ones? You know the motto, if you can, after the story's over there, hit us with a like, which is a thumbs up, and that'll let us know we kicking our stuff. I want to thank the homeboy G League Deuce for the intro from the legendary Mental historical hip-hop album, Banging on Wax. You can reach him on Instagram at Solid from Day One. YouTube, what it do, loved ones? This story right here is about the homeboy Robert Wilson from the Gap Band. And the reason why I'm telling this story, because yesterday, you know, family, friends was together and we was cutting it up about old times. And my peoples had mentioned Robert Wilson coming through the spot back in the days, homie, you know, blessing niggas and looking out for motherfuckers and shit. And I thought it was only right to share my connection with Robert Wilson from the Gap Band on 89 on up, homie, on the platform, on the channel, homie. And I meet the homie from the Gap Band, Robert Wilson, in the early 90s, homie. And I meet him in Queen Street Bloodhood. And how I meet him back then, you know, a lot of entertainers, since it was the Forum there and different little things going on in Englewood, Queen Street Bloodhood kind of like was a magnet, center attraction of a lot of entertainers, homie. And I happened to be living over there at that time, functioning and banging and with the homies and all that. I wind up getting a connection, a hookup, a encounter with the homeboy Robert Wilson from the Gap Band. And for me meeting him over there in Queen Street Bloodhood, I was able to turn him on to my homeboy LSD. And from there, us three build a relationship, homie. And what I could say about Robert Wilson from the Gap Band, at them times, homie, them older OG dudes that was in the game, homie, they just blessed the motherfucker on the strength by feeling your vibe and your instinct, homie. Niggas didn't really have to get at them dudes if they felt a connection to you and say, help me, homie. They'll just see you functioning and pushing and see you talking about what you're doing and making things happen. Them type dudes like the Robert Wilson, you know, they'll just donate and contribute, homie, and say, well, what else you need to tie the knot on all that, to close all that, homie. That's what type of some of them dudes back then that was in the industry, homie. That's how they was with us, homie. And so anyway, when I meet the homie and started really kind of hanging with the homie, functioning, when he came down to the city to do his thing and hang out, he started taking moralization to a nigga, you know what I'm saying? We'll watch his back, you know what I'm saying? Let him know if you know what I'm saying, if you need us to support you, I got you, and all that type shit. And he extended his hand back, you know, in the same token. So with that being said, homie, like I said, you didn't really have to ask these dudes for nothing, homie. They'll just study you and see how you was, homie, and donate to the cause, homie. And that's what Robert Wilson wound up doing to me and the homie LSD. You know, he wound up, you know, blessing the homeboy LSD with jewelry pieces. You know what I'm saying? Wound up looking out for me financially to kind of, you know what I'm saying, to keep doing my thing and, you know, help my family and all that shit at that time in the early 90s grinding, homie. Dude was like that, homie. And I used to have him come over there and pull up and smoke weed with him in Queen Street Blood Hood in a alley. I used to call it He-Man's Alley, because the OG homeboy He-Man from Queen Street Bloods, he had like a apartment over there that had like a garage, homie, and all the homies from QS and niggas Damus that was over there hanging out had action to go back there, shoot dice, make $1 or $2, drink, and hang out, homie. And the apartment I was in shared that alley with where the OG homeboy spot was at. So I used to have a homie from the Gap Band pull up, we'll blow tweed, hang out, and all that type shit. So I remember this particular day, it wasn't no homies hanging out. You know, homies probably had went somewhere else and did their thing over in the QS's. And I'm over here and the homie LSD over there. And at these times, early 90s, homie, it get dark over there in the Queen Street Blood. So it looked like a East Side hood over there. So the Legend Crips and other Grips used to come through there and try to hit the homies in them early 90s. Homie, I'm a witness to it. And this particular day I'm talking about, the Rips try to get on me and the homie LSD and service over there. So we young at that time, we ain't got no vehicle to try to, you know, do no retaliation. But I got a little, you know what I'm saying, little revolver at that time, homie. So as we in He-Man's Alley over here on the 400 block in Queen Street Blood Hood, talking about, you know what I'm saying, that we had a vehicle, niggas that try to, you know, hood patrol, see if we could catch them niggas and all that type shit, you know, young gang bang talking. So, homie, while we talking, the homie Robert Wilson from the Gap Band, homie, he pull up on us, homie, dressed like everybody all aboard, you know what I'm saying, how they was dressing and shit. He pull up in a limo, homie. So, as he pull up, you know what I'm saying, pull up in my apartment building back area, crack the window, you know what I'm saying, ask me like, half what you got going? I'm like, shit, man, we hanging out here, we blowing tweed and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm cutting it up with the homie brown skinned with the funny colored green eyes and everything, you know what I'm saying? Solid homie blue tweed, like to have a cocktail, you know what I'm saying? So we all in the back of the building, you know what I'm saying, cocktail and smoking herb and talking shit. So I tell the homie from the Gap Band, homie, I'm like, man, nigga, get into it with some Crips. Nigga wanna drive through the hood in that motherfucking limo. You know what I'm saying, on hood patrol, see if we see these fools or something. I'm thinking of homie Robert Wilson from the Gap Band, homie, on everything. True story. I'm thinking of homie Robert Wilson from the Gap Band gonna be like, nah, I ain't with that. You know what I'm saying? My boy scoot over, pop the lock, and make room for us to jump in, homie. Me and homie LSD, we jump in the back of the limo. I got the revolver and shit. You know what I'm saying? We pull up out of there, homie. And he tell his driver bag on up out the stall area where we was at, and we take off out of He-Man's Alley, out of the Queen Street Blood Hood. We take off from that alley, and we drive through the Queen Streets. Then from the Queen Streets, we take it to the NHPs, which because we next door neighbors, we take it over there, homie. We all over there and shit. We see a couple one time, but you know they ain't tripping. But you know niggas from the street, from the hood, are Hadrillian kind of when we see them, we think they own us in anything we in, but we could be super low, but just who we are make us feel like motherfuckers is on us. So bam, as we cutting corners through the turf, I think we see 2 one times and shit, but they ain't tripping. But I'm like, damn, you know, I get to thinking, damn, I'm with the homeboy Robert Wilson, you know what I'm saying, from the Gap Band. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying, get this nigga caught up or none of that shit. So I tell LSD ain't tripping. He know, you know what I'm saying? He like, shit, the homie ain't tripping. I ain't tripping. Nigga, we can keep turning him. I tell LSD, I'm like, man, fuck it. Let's go back in. So LSD like tell Robert Wilson, like, man, fuck it. Take us back to the foe. Take us back to Queen Street Hood, homie, Queen Street Blood Hood. So we wind up, you know what I'm saying, flexing from the neighborhood power rules after hood patrolling back to the block and shit, homie. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the homeboy Robert Wilson, you know what I'm saying, to his peoples, to his loved ones. He was a solid homeboy, not just in the industry, but he all the way down to, you know, street level homies. He was supportive to us real niggas out here on the bricks and in the field, homie. So it was only right as us talking about him doing a holiday with my families and loved ones, for me to give him a tribute on a platform 89 on up, where we serve a gang of G stuff and not Ye stuff, homie. You know what I'm saying? One love, and we gonna keep on sending history, dog, and sending good content, homie. Also, homie, I want to shout out Robert Wilson, his limo driver, homie. You know what I'm saying? I don't remember dude's name, but the dude that was chauffeuring the homeboy, I want to shout you out, homie, because you was solid, homie. You know what I'm saying? You didn't do no complaining. You know what I'm saying? You was solid. You was there for him and there for the people that he rocked with and that rocked with him, homie. 89 on up, homie. I'm out.